Friends, family, visitors, welcome to Live Song. This Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit different. This is Live Song Kids Takeover. It's going to be the kids service in the adult service. We're going to have crafts, snack, going to be a lot of fun. So sit anywhere you'd like, hang tight, we're going to get started real soon. Family, visitors, welcome to Live Song. This Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit different. This is Live Song Kids Takeover. It's going to be the kids service in the adult service. We're going to have crafts, snack, going to be a lot of fun. So sit anywhere you'd like, hang tight, we're going to get started real soon. Friends, family, visitors, welcome to Live Song. This Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit different. This is Live Song Kids Takeover. It's going to be the kids service in the adult service. We're going to have crafts, snack, going to be a lot of fun. So sit anywhere you'd like, hang tight, we're going to get started real soon. Family, visitors, welcome to Live Song. This Sunday morning, it's going to be a little bit different. This is Live Song Kids Takeover. It's going to be the kids service in the adult service. We're going to have crafts, snack, going to be a lot of fun. So sit anywhere you'd like, hang tight, we're going to get started real soon. What's going on, Life Song family? It's me, Colby McKinn, your Children's Ministry Director here, and we wanted to make this short video just for you all, our online family, for those that couldn't be in attendance for this coming Sunday, which is going to be Life Song Kids Takeover. This Sunday it's going to be all about our kids. The kids are coming into the main service where we're going to sing the same songs that we sing in kids' church. We're doing a craft, we're doing a snack, and what you're getting right now is a shortened version of the lesson that we are going to teach the adults this coming Sunday. Now, unfortunately, we can't live stream it because of copyright issues, so you're getting it directly from me right now. Now, the whole point of this Sunday is to put the focus on the kids. So, of course, for the lesson, the focus is on the kids, and we have 4 stories moving sequentially from the Old Testament to the New Testament, beginning all the way with a young boy named Samuel. Now, Samuel was the son of a man named Elkanah and a woman named Hannah. And Hannah prayed and prayed and prayed for a child. And she spoke to the Lord and said, "Lord, when I have a child, I will give him back to you." Now, Hannah's prayer was answered. And when Samuel was born, he went to live, right? He went to live in the house of prayer, in a house of prophecy, right? So Samuel is living here. And one morning he hears a voice, and he runs and he says, "I'm hearing a voice from the Lord." And they say, no, you're hearing things, young man. Go back, go to sleep." So Samuel does this. Happens again. They say the same thing. "Go back, rest your head, you're just dreaming." So Samuel does this. Now the third time, Samuel listens, intent to speak his truth, intent to speak the words that the Lord has given him. And so he does this. And by the third time, finally, they realize his gift of prophecy. They realize that Samuel is chosen for a special purpose. Even at such a young age, Samuel was intent on listening to the gift that he had been given and using this gift. Fast forward a little bit more. Now we have David. Now we all know the famous story of David and Goliath. But before this time, David was not even given a chance. He was young, he was small. He had older brothers, far more fair, far more stronger. And they were taken in, and they were the ones who were given the chance to appear and become king first. But the Lord had different plans, and the Lord sees not as man sees, choosing the smallest, the runt of the group, which is David, and bringing him into the fold. And someday, of course, becoming the king of Israel, the king, the man after God's own heart. Moving on from Samuel and David, then we go all the way to Josiah, the child king, who literally became king of Israel, king of Judah, at 8 years old. Now, there had been a long tradition of wickedness and a long tradition of doing sin in the eyes of the Lord, but Josiah was different. Even at the ripe young age of 8 years old, his wisdom was beyond his years, and he listened to those around him, and he grew up into a great ruler and brought the moral law back into the land of Judah. Even though Josiah was young, they did not look down on him for his lack of wisdom. Finally, moving into the New Testament, we have the famous story of Jesus. Teaching on the side of the hill. The families are coming, they're sitting in the shade of the trees, and they're listening to what Jesus is having to say. And the little children are all scattered around on the hillside. And they come to Jesus, and Jesus' friends, the disciples, his followers, they push the kids back, right? And they say, "Kids, back. Don't bother the Messiah." If our first 3 stories have taught us anything, it's not to look down on the kids. And Jesus knows this. Jesus is famous for inverting things, inverting our cultural norms, our societal norms on their heads. He looks at his friends, he looks at his disciples, and he says, "Let the little children come to me, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. For if you have faith like these, then you'll know the way." Now, I tell you these 4 stories as a way to get us into this idea of having a childlike faith, And you'll hear that over and over and over throughout the gospel stories of having a childlike faith. And when I say that, I don't say to have a childlike faith as a way to regress, to make it more simple, to make it less complex. A childlike faith is about returning to trusting in the goodness and the promises of God. A childlike faith is trusting like a little child that their parent will be there for them, will give them food, will give them shelter, will rest their head when they're weary, will catch their tears when they're crying, and rest their head in the evening. These are the promises of God. These are the promises of Jesus, who says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My offering to you today, my prayer for you today, is that you'll return to that childlike faith, that you'll remember the promises of God, whatever it is that you may be dealing with. I know that life can be so complex and the world can be so cruel. I'm daring you, asking you to trust in a good God, even in a world that can be a little messed up sometimes. Would you pray with me as we close? God, thank you so, so much for this Life Song family, for the opportunity to do things like this, even through technology, through screens, God. My prayer is that the person hearing this, that they'll increase in wisdom, that they'll increase in stature, and that they will find favor in your eyes, Lord. That they will maintain a childlike faith and return to your promises and to your goodness, God. I pray this in your most precious name. Amen. Take care, you all.